Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. Bless the rains down in Africa. Bless the rains. Gonna take some time to do things we never had. Ooh. Ba, 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 ba. Hey, it's Shade X, and this is my review of The Waterboy. Aquaman is somewhat entertaining. It's passable. It isn't as good as Wonder Woman. It only appears good because DC's previous films were really bad. Aquaman is such a mess, but it's an enjoyable mess. It is a watchable movie. You won't get bored when you watch it. This film is fun, unlike Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I was afraid that Jason Momoa's Aquaman would be too violent and brooding like Henry Cavill's Superman, but he is a very likable character. This film is a better origin story than Man of Steel. The film is about Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, who is half human and half Atlantean. His father is a lighthouse keeper, and his mother is an Atlantean who washed up ashore. It turns out that she is Atlana, the Queen of Atlantis. They have a kid together who they name Arthur Curry. But Atlana must return home after Atlantean guards come to attack her. Arthur is then raised by his father Thomas. Arthur is then raised on the land instead of in Atlantis. I like the scene at the beginning of the film where Arthur talks to the sharks in the tank. That was really cool. In the movie, Aquaman fights his half-brother Orm for the throne of Atlantis. Aquaman has known the land as his real home and has barely visited Atlantis, but when Orm discovers Aquaman's existence, he views him as a threat to his reign as king, since Arthur is his mother, Atlana's firstborn. Orm wants to go to war with the land, which forces Aquaman to intervene. I didn't bother watching Justice League, but this film does a good job recapping what Aquaman did in the film. Mara walks up to Aquaman and she's like, "Oh, remember when you fought Steppenwolf?" And Aquaman says, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And then, it's never mentioned again. Justice League never mentioned again. This movie is fun. It's an adventure movie. Aquaman and Mara travel across the globe in search of an ancient trident which will help Aquaman unite the land and the sea. The film features William Dafoe, who plays Aquaman's mentor, Nuidus Velko, who trained him to be an Atlantean when he was a kid. It was fun to see William Dafoe in this film. I loved him as Green Goblin in the 2002 Spider-Man film. Aquaman is full of cheesy dialogue to introduce the villains. Like someone tells Orm, "I give you the role of Ocean Master." And at the beginning of the film, Black Manta's father tells him, "Hey, here's a knife used by your grandpa." They called him the Black Manta. I just find that stuff unintentionally funny. Anyway, the villains of this movie are decent. Orm is a good villain. He views his brother Arthur as a half-breed who is undeserving of the throne. I like Black Manta in this movie. I thought his costume looked really cool. He wants revenge after Aquaman leaves his pirate father to die in a submarine after him and his pirate crew tried to take it over. One scene featuring Black Manta that I really enjoyed was the one where he's designing the suit. Orm gives Black Manta all this Atlantean technology, including a super powerful gun, but instead of using the technology as it was intended, he tinkers around with it and turns into a robotic suit. The CGI in this film was okay. It wasn't perfect, and the film did feel like a CGI mess at times, but it wasn't terrible. Atlantis looked pretty cool. Now I'm gonna briefly get into spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, skip to this part. I found this movie very goofy, and of course, it's an Aquaman movie. Towards the middle of the film, Aquaman battles fish monsters. Here's a picture, the only picture I could find. This is from the comics. They look a lot more goofier. They're like fish. They're like fish with like arms and legs. They look very goofy looking. It's a fun scene. After that, Aquaman and Mera find out that his mother, Atlana, is still alive. She's on an island with dinosaurs. I thought that was pretty cool. Aquaman ends up fighting a Leviathan, voiced by Julie Andrews, so he can get the trident. I found it weird how Julie Andrews was in this film and not the Mary Poppins sequel. The film ends with an epic undersea battle. It was okay. There was a bit too much CGI, but I was still entertained by it. The movie has a happy ending. Aquaman ends up not killing Orm. Atlana returns to Thomas. Now we'll talk about the end credits scene. Black Manta survives his battle with Aquaman. He ends up becoming roommates with Dr. Stephen Shin, a guy who believes in Atlantis' existence in the beginning of the film. Black Manta offers to bring him to Atlantis if he can help him find Aquaman. Black Manta then throws a knife and it hits a photo of Aquaman. That's the end credits scene. I'm really looking forward to seeing more Black Manta. It'd be great if he was in James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2. I just really like seeing the character in this film, and I really want to see more of him. Okay, spoilers are over. Overall, Aquaman is an okay film. However, it isn't as good as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'd say watch Spider-Verse first. That deserves more support than this movie. Aquaman is doing much better than Spider-Verse and Bumblebee in the box office right now, which are far superior films. It's fine to watch Aquaman in theaters, and it's fine to rent it on DVD, but it isn't a must-see film, but still I think people should watch it. I recommend Aquaman. It's one of the better DCU films. Still, I wish they included this moment from the comics in this movie. Like, come on, DC, why? Why didn't you put this in the movie? You can't get the fish and chips. Why not? Because you talk to fish. I don't talk to fish. Come on, that's such an epic scene, DC. Why didn't you put that in the movie? Also, why was Africa in Aquaman instead of Black Panther? Total missed opportunity. Anyway, this has been ShadeX, and thanks for watching. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. Bless the rains down in Africa. Bless the rains. Gonna take some time to do things we never had. Ooh. Ba, 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 ba. I practice what I preach, but I ain't gonna lie. I still got love for these streets. 305 till I die. Still got love for these beats. That's why I spit this fire. You can catch me on a beat, especially on an island. Took over my city. Now it's time for the world.